Hi Focus. My name is Mary Kate Alexander and I'm going to be a junior this year at Wichita State University. And this past spring break I had the amazing opportunity to serve with the Missionaries of Charity in Port-au-Prince, Haiti at the Children's Hospital. And throughout that entire week, the Lord just worked in my life in so many incredible ways. But there's one moment that has continued to impact me and my spiritual life ever since I got back from Haiti. And I want to share that with you today. So to understand kind of where I was going into that mission trip, I had really been having a difficult school year. I'd been struggling with a number of different things, but throughout all of those difficulties, I was striving so hard to run to the Lord, and I was really trying to do my best to live a strong Catholic life. But I just kept struggling to think that I had to earn the Lord's love. And I just couldn't bring myself to believe that I was loved by the Lord unconditionally. And so I brought that with me to Haiti, just hoping that the Lord was going to work through it. And He did. But coming into that week, the very first day that we got to Haiti, I walked into the nursery where just dozens and dozens of babies are just in cribs crying. And there was one particular baby who I saw first. And he was probably about 6 months old, and he was laying in his crib, and I saw that he had horrific, terrible burn wounds all over his face and his head. And the sister said that they had been told that boiling water had been thrown at him. And so, as you can imagine, it was gruesome. And to be honest, I saw him and I turned away and I went somewhere else. I held another baby because it was so intense and it was so painful that I couldn't quite handle it. And so honestly, that entire week, I did my best to avoid him at all costs. I didn't hold him. I didn't go near him. I was scared. And it wasn't until about halfway through the week, our chaplain, Father Emmanuel, who was awesome, was giving a talk, and he challenged us, and he said, if there's one child who you've been avoiding, one child who you've been afraid to go to, I challenge you tomorrow to go right up to that child and hold them and see what the Lord is trying to teach you through them. So, of course, I felt very called out in that moment, but, I knew I had to obey a priest, and so that next morning, I went into the nursery and I walked right up to the edge of that baby's crib, and we just kind of looked at each other for a minute. I didn't know what to do, and I was nervous. My heart was racing, but I just reached in and I tickled his tummy a little bit, and he smiled the biggest toothless grin I have ever seen in my entire life, and my heart, as you can imagine, just melted. And it was like in that moment, I forgot about his wounds. I forgot about all the fear that I'd been experiencing for that entire week. And I just reached in and I picked him up. And we were just laughing. And it was just like a beautiful moment shared between us. But then he just stopped. He stopped laughing and he just looked at me. And he looked at me with this gaze that I know now I would consider a knowing gaze, because it was as if he was looking into me and saw everything, saw the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. But it was filled with so much love and so much mercy. And I knew in that moment that I wasn't just looking into the eyes of a little baby, I was looking into the eyes of Jesus. And we stayed like that for probably a couple minutes. And throughout the following months since Haiti, that gaze has stayed in my heart and it has stayed in my mind. And the Lord just keeps inviting me deeper and deeper into that gaze and invites me to receive it more and more each day. And I learned through that gaze that I am loved. And not only am I loved so much, but each and every human being is loved to the point where Jesus can be found in each one of us. And so that has impacted me every single day since I returned from that mission trip. And I'm so grateful to the Lord for showing me his love in such a beautiful and tangible way. And I'm so thankful to Focus for giving me the opportunity to experience that love of the Lord and to give that love of the Lord back. So thank you so much, and God bless. Thank you for listening to my story.